Hey everyone, welcome back to Video Game Book Club. I am Daniel, and this is Clay.
I am.
And we are here to play a video game. Clay, what are we playing?
We are playing Mega Man X3 for Mega May. Mega Man X3 is the final Super Nintendo game that we got here in the States, but you played it on the Mega Man X Collection, which has the PlayStation 1 version, which is not the Super Nintendo version.
Some of that very well may have been true. Who knows? We're not experts. What I am an expert of is I really like Mega Man X2, so I'm super stoked going into this game.
So let's go ahead and just get into it.
Alright everyone, this is my time to shine. We're playing a regular Mega Man, and the gameplay is gonna be mine.
Whoa, Daniel. We kind of need more footage than just this intro level for a review video, don't you think?
Hey man, I just played through X and X2 all by myself and I actually had a ton of fun. I think I'm coming around on this Mega Man guy.
Well, that's great, because this Mega Man guy is technically different from the other Mega Man guy, but not the Mega Man guy that we just played as in X2. He's the other Mega Man guy from the other Mega Man series that's not this series we're playing through now.
Mega Man has never looked better. Well, at least not to me with my limited experience with the franchise. I'm playing on the Mega Man X collection on PS2. So my playthrough of X3 is the PlayStation version instead of the original SNES, with the high quality sprite work that I have come to love with my recent playthrough of X and X2 knocked up another notch for this version of X3. Mega Man is single-handedly making games great again.
Unfortunately, the game has very little in the way of enemy variety, although the boss monsters are wonderfully designed, hulking monstrosities. Sticking with the animal theme from previous X games, you'll find yourself up against Giant Buffalo, a horned beetle, and, well, 6 other giant animal-themed Reploids, as well as several giants.
Clay, I think they get it. The bosses in X3 are all on the large size and dwarf our dear Mega Man X. Even Zero is huge compared to X. The music is remixed for this version, and while I found myself falling in love with the music in X2, X3's music never seemed to sink its hooks in me the same way. And of course, there's the sweet 90s style anime videos strung throughout the game.
When you start the game up, you'll get an awesome anime intro that basically gives a condensed version of the story from the first 2 games. And while this intro takes some liberties with what we've already seen, who cares? It's just freaking awesome. And just look at that and tell me you wouldn't watch an OVA of Mega Man X. You'll also get anime sequences before each Robot Master level as an introduction to the good Reploid turned evil you'll soon be facing down. These are also freaking sweet. I especially like Blizzard Buffalo's intro.
While I really enjoyed my time with X and X2, as soon as I fired up X3, I knew the controls were on a whole different level. For the first time, I felt like I wasn't fighting against Mega Man X, I was fighting as Mega Man X. The smoothness in movement and responsiveness of my commands takes an immediate leap from X2, which I had finished just minutes before I started X3.
Mega Man has all of his same old tricks. Defeat Robot Masters to gain their abilities. Daniel especially likes the Triad Thunder that you gain from defeating Volt Catfish, while I lean more towards the Spinning Blade gained from Crush Crawfish. Say that 3 times fast. You'll also be able to find blue pods where holographic Dr. Light will give X pieces of armor like the previous 2 games, as well as 8 hearts. But there's also several new additions as well.
On top of the blue pods, you can collect one of 4 pink pods that have a chip to enhance a portion of your armor. Or you can ignore the pods, meet some other criteria, and get this not as garish as I feared gold armor that enhances all 4 pieces of armor. Back is the ride armor, but this time around you can find 4 different unlockable versions, as well as ride pads to summon them in every level. Frog armor sucks.
And, of course, for the first time, Zero is a playable character, coupled with a much larger sprite is Zero's sweet, sweet sword, and the fact that at the beginning of the game, Zero is much stronger than X. But there are limitations to using X as well as Risk. Zero cannot go through doors to start with, and there are multiple doors per level. This means that you can only use Zero for a portion of the level and not the entire thing. Also, while Mega Man X will get stronger through your playthrough, Zero is at his strongest form the first minute of the game and will eventually be surpassed by our boy in blue, or red, or Italian flag colors. Mega Man got some ugly clothes, man.
On top of these limitations, there's one big one that can actually change the ending of the game. When Mega Man X dies, you continue with another life. But when Zero dies, he dies. Zero is one and done, and his death will have an effect on the ending of the game. Personally, I just never use Zero because he's cool and Mega Man drools, and I don't want him to leave me. Please don't leave me, Zero. I love you, Senpai. Notice me.
Okay. While we won't get into what changes right now, we can go ahead and hit some non-spoiler story beats. You play as Mega Man X, duh, and Zero, two of Dr. Kane's Maverick Hunters. This time around, instead of Sigma, we have Dr. Doppler, who has created a utopia for reformed Mavericks.
Oh, but wait, the reformed Mavericks have gone Maverick again. Who would have ever thought? You'll fight 8 robot masters and then storm Dr. Doppler's lab. And while this isn't necessarily a story complaint, I want to touch on a huge issue I have with Mega Man games I've played so far. So you play through the 8 robot masters, collecting all the power-ups, getting a new password each time, and unlock the tower, base, lab, whatever. You fight through the hardest part of the game, get to the end, die and die and die, but you never get a new password. If you turn the game off to go to bed because you've been hitting your head against a Reploid-shaped wall, you have to do the entire tower over again. With X3, the final 4 levels, especially the first 2, are by far the hardest Mega Man I've ever played. I beat my 8th Robot Master in about 4.5 hours. I've played Mega Man X3 for over 15 hours now.
You just can't give up, Daniel. You've got to keep on going and get better little by little. Let's tell them about that ending. That'll show everyone how much better you've gotten at Mega Man this year.
You attack Doppler's lab, fight some super hard bosses depending on how you play the main game. Dr. Doppler sends out Bit and Byte, who you will run into on seemingly random Robot Master levels after you defeat your second boss. You can also fight Vile from the original Mega Man X. I forgot to fight him before I defeated my last Robot Master, so I had to fight him in Doppler's lab. He was super easy. Who wasn't easy is this piece of shit junk robot. I literally rage quit, like no joke, I was so done. You start out by having to destroy his nozzle before you can do damage. He then floods the floor with acid so you can't touch it. There's also this garbage shit on the ceiling dropping shit on you, and he grabs you and it's all super bullshit. I had to fight him because I killed Bit and Byte from what I can find. I'm not killing Bit and Byte next time. Who am I kidding? There will never be a next time.
You'll, of course, get to fight all 8 Robot Masters again in a boss rush mode, but this is pretty easy and made easier by a capsule in the middle of the boss rush room that will give you health after each fight. Pretty nice this time around. You'll eventually come face to face with the big bad himself, Dr. Doppler. This fight is super easy, although the Doctor does have some neat gimmicks where he heals himself if you damage him while he isn't attacking. Once you defeat him, he tells you this was all because of Sigma. Big f***ing surprise. Sigma is alive and in the form of a computer virus that Doppler's actions were not his own and that he was corrupted, so he would make a new body for Sigma. Okay, Daniel, real talk. You've earned this. Do you want to finish off the story section?
Yeah, sure. You fight and defeat Sigma's first form, and then that turns into an invincible giant robot who kills Mega Man X, and the game ends. Really brave of Capcom to end the series like that.
Okay, hold on. You can't be serious, right? Like, you know that's not the ending.
Oh, is there a secret ending? Because I'm telling you right now, I didn't spend 15 hours on this game to be told I can't beat the last boss, even though I got every thing possible. 8 hearts, check. Armor upgrades including gold armor, check. I didn't get the sword because I let Zero live. Is that how you get the secret ending, Clay? Is that how you let your friend die? Because I would never let my friend die just to get a secret ending in a game, you sick perverse
No, Daniel, no. You just beat the last boss. That's how you get the secret ending.
Capcom, Mega Man, you, Clay. I knew I hated this bullshit franchise.
Once you beat the last boss, you can get one of two endings depending on if Zero was killed in your playthrough. If Zero was lost in your playthrough, Dr. Doppler will sacrifice himself by uploading the antivirus into himself to take down Sigma. But if you protected your much larger friend and didn't waste his one life to live, then Zero will load the antivirus into his beam saber and save Mega Man X from Virus Sigma. And I'm sure that's for the last time. Or not.
So Clay, what you think?
So Mega Man X3 is probably my favorite of the three games that we've played. It's better than 1 and 2, looks better, plays better, but the music from X2 is better. How about you? How'd you feel?
I feel like Mega Man can go himself.
No, that's not nice.
All the games are trash. The character is trash. Everything to do with it is trash. The color blue now is trash. They're all trash. Peace out, Mega Man.
That's terrible. And if you want to now, like and subscribe for more from us, and we may be back sometime. I don't know. Take care, everyone.
I mega quit this bullshit game.